Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. One of my viewers commented on MVI 1763, will someone please explain? That was a video that I posted, and one of my viewers wrote something that I wanted to share. I think he pretty much hit 9 out of 10 targets. He missed one, and I'll explain at the end. Here's what he wrote. Some of these so-called radicals in places like Yemen are not even armed with bombs. Some are local militia. Some are just locals who have firearms. Some are just outspoken against the injustices of their own governments and get targeted. Why is Obama able to justify bombing some and arming others? Interesting question, is it not? Very interesting question. Simple is what the contributor said. Add Saudi Arabia to the equation and add the new Arab states coalition in there. Obama is attacking anyone that does not fall in line with the Saudi prince, Bandar bin Sultan. So groups in Yemen, they are attacking are anyone armed and not loyal to bin Sultan, wherever or not they have bombs, whether or not they are really extreme. And sometimes they attack people that are not even armed at all. And Yemen is a lot like the Wild West of America. Everyone has an AK-47. So regardless of if they are terrorists or not, bin Sultan sees them as a threat and will use his influence to murder people. He's doing the same thing that our government is attempting to do here in America. Label anyone who resists tyranny as terrorists and then bomb them. But over there, he doesn't have to win the people with the media or go through any red tape. At the same time, bin Sultan is actively arming and pardoning thousands of criminals, like rapists and murderers, to become involved in Syria and help funnel arms and funds to them from Obama. Why? To solidify the power of two mutually beneficial parties. Now here's where I differ with this viewer. Saudi Arabia and Israel, they are in cahoots. So establishing anyone who does not fit their prescribed pattern only strengthens their cause. And Israel and Saudi Arabia have been in bed for many, many decades. Again, I totally disagree with what he had just said. He obviously doesn't have a clue as to the hatred that exists between Saudi Arabia and Jews in general. So that is where they are using drones willy-nilly to create a monopoly on force and use drones to either scare people into submissions or create unity. The actions of criminals often never make sense unless we put money and power into the equation. Once again, I thought that was an incredibly well-articulated, well-written article, except where the contributor mentioned what he did about Israel and Saudi Arabia. To me, it makes a whole lot of sense. He talks about what the Prince bin Sultan is doing by releasing prisoners. Look what Barack Hussein and look what the Less Than Honorable Attorney General Eric H. Holder just announced. They plan to do the same. You know what's really amazing is that this country has allowed Obama to arm the Syrian rebel freedom fighters. Libya in Benghazi was used as a distribution point to supply weapons through Turkey into Syria. There's 34 survivors that know exactly why they were there. They know exactly what they were doing there. And how is it that not one of them has been put on a stand to testify. Not one of them has the honor to thank those that saved their lives. And it wasn't Barack Hussein Obama. It was Glenn Doherty and Tyrone Woods and 2 other operatives that left the CIA annex and went to the facility. And not one of them has come forward. You ever wonder why that is? In either case, if you agree with what the contributor wrote, send it along. By the way, I did reply back to him, and I did tell him that I planned to post what he wrote, and I was going to leave out the portion that he wrote about Israel and Saudi Arabia, because to me, it's total nonsense. But I did include it. At the same time, I explained why I thought that particular clause was total nonsense. Arabs that are radicals hate Israel. Get it? Hopefully, my viewer did as well. And once again, if it weren't for that little portion that he wrote about, I think it was an incredible piece of well-written information. If you agree, once again, please pass it along. Let me know what you think. I told you what I think.